People tend to make up monsters. They can be creatures living under your bed, a monkey in the wardrobe, Medusa, or Minotaur. But these are made up and have nothing to do with reality. It's much worse when a monster comes to life, when it's impossible to flee from it, when merely looking at it, even the bravest person gets frightened. Such a monster is in service of the Russian Navy. There are different types of assault ships. There are big ones, there are little motorboats, and there are unique ships that can come ashore in 70% of the cases. The latter are hovercrafts or minor amphibious ships called Zubr, just like this one. They can hold up to 10 armored vehicles. The Baltic monster was approaching its berth. When the water spray ascended, all necessary works were completed. After that, I wanted to learn how this thing works. They say engineers made up with the idea when they saw the famous scene with Marilyn Monroe and her waving dress. Andre, Combat Department 5 Commander, will tell us if it's true. Hi. Does it have something in common with Marilyn Monroe and her dress? Sure, it's a skirt. It's called a flexible extension. It's a rubber fabric. When air is supplied, the ship moves. Pressure under the skirt is enough to lift the ship up to 2.5 meters high. A ditch, a trench, a little groove, or a basketball player is not an obstacle for this ship. Andre, are we on the upper deck at the moment? Yes, as you can see, we're on the upper deck, and we're going to talk about the things that a hovercraft can't do without. These are compression plans, number 10. There are 4 of them on board, 2 on the left and 2 on the right. There are 2 engines working at a constant speed. They transfer the energy to 4 fans. Flaps installed above the air towers regulate air supply. When the flaps are not extended and there's less air, the Zubr's breathing becomes chesty. It has decent muscles as well. What's the capacity, by the way? 10,000 horsepower. I'm surprised at the number of horses participating in the process. I started being surprised at the engine's power. The Zubr's engine is based on the M35 unit created at the research and production enterprise Mash Project, which includes 5 components, 3 drafts, M35-1s, and 2 blowers, M35-2s, as well as power shafts with intermediate bearings. The total capacity, 50,000 horsepower. The Zubr consumes 9.5 thousand tons of fuel per hour. There's something that the Zubr has in common even with the heavy bombers. Andre, are we now in the main propulsion? How is it called? Here's a screw, for example. I've heard that such screws are taken from some planes. What kind is taken? AN and TU. So that's the AN-12 probably. Yes. And the TU. I think the TU-95. So it has screws from heavy bombers. Oh my. The heavy bomber Zubr.